Okay, hello everybody. Stuart McAdam here. Welcome to another episode of Podcast Friday. I hope everybody is having a wonderful week so far. And there's been a couple of things that have just come up onto my radar. The first one is there's actually an interesting campaign here in New Zealand that's being run right now about saving our stores. So, New Zealand has corner shops, better known as dairies, and as if you're living in New Zealand, you probably know that a lot of them sell cigarettes. And there's an article that came out the other day on Radio New Zealand, which was talking about how the ads are actually backed by tobacco lobbies or tobacco companies. And one of the biggest supporters of this campaign is British American Tobacco. And the whole thing that's generating controversy here is it's actually saying that in order for dairies or corner shops to survive in New Zealand, they need to be selling cigarettes, which is quite an interesting proposal because the smoke free initiative that they've got here in New Zealand is wanting to reduce the number of stores selling full strength tobacco from 6,000 nationwide to just 600 by July 2024. So, whether or not that's something that's going to be effective, whether it's going to have any impact, I don't actually know. And the petition in itself is not one that I've actually openly looked at, but I'm just going to share my honest opinion here. I do not trust tobacco companies. If you have a look at the further down the article, it says RNZ has identified the person who owns the store in Lower Hutt. When contacted about the campaign, he said he was away and unsure of what you mean. They have not verified if he is the person cited in the company's ads. 14 Facebook ads, which led to the website, feature numerous different messages. Some show what appear to be dairy owners with Save Our Stores, but others include messages saying the new laws could give gangs more power, more ram raids will occur if fewer stores stock cigarettes, and tobacco taxes bring in enough revenue to pay for 35,000 police officers. So my general opinion on that is I have a look at the messaging of tobacco companies, and they used to pull out some of the nastiest, dodgiest types of messaging ever to get people to smoke their cancer sticks. And if you have a look at some of the past ones, it was, doctors choose, you know, Marlboros, or doctors choose Camels, or um, this one is for the sophisticated people in society. It was just a cool thing. They made it the cool thing. And even though there was a growing body of evidence that was coming out at the time that cigarettes were causing harm and danger, it was often overlooked. And one of the other problems as well that you have with, um, I guess, this whole campaign is there's a huge amount of self interest in it. If British American Tobacco was not allowed to sell their cigarettes in stores, their income would drop, or perhaps they would probably go and seek alternative sources of revenue, which is what a lot of them have done. So, definitely not the most flattering campaign, and one in which I don't have any sympathy for, and I probably will be actively encouraging any friends and family not to sign that petition because I don't know if there's any established evidence that not selling cigarettes in dairies is going to make them all close down. So that's the first thing that was on the mind. And then the second one, which is more related to paid advertising, is that there is a 14.1 rollout on the Google Ads API. And for those that don't know what an API is, it basically means application programming interface. So, the simplest way to explain that in these terms is it's it's designed to give you more accurate tracking because it feeds information from your platform or your website back into the advertising platform itself. So it's been quite popular recently in Facebook ads with the Apple iOS changes, and it's also seems to be growing popularity here with Google ads as well. And just to have a look at some of the features on it, it says that, customer agreement setting, which shows if the customer has accepted the lead form terms of service, obviously important in the new one. It shows new fields in the asset group, so primary status and primary status reasons for the campaigns. It's got the campaign primary status reason, it's got the criteria, it has experiments. So it's more just sort of like underscore type of messaging. So very interesting to see that. And it's also got, most interestingly, new customer lifetime value, all new customer lifetime value, and new versus returning customers. So that'll be quite interesting to see come out as time goes on. So hopefully we can get some good updates on it. And then the next thing, which is in TikTok ads, I saw an article a couple of days ago in Eco Consultancy talking about paid social landscape from TikTok growth to AI powered buying everything. And what I wanted to look at first was how TikTok has defied digital ads slowdown. They generated a whopping $9.9 billion in ad revenue in 2022 alone, which is a 155% increase on the previous year. Now, you have to remember that TikTok, even last year, was still very limited in what it offered as advertising goal objectives. So, the fact that it was able to generate such a massive increase in advertising spend shows you how people move with the movers. So, and their growth is predicted to get even bigger. There's a report by AWalk that suggested that the ad revenue will rise above 15 billion in 2023. So, all of that shows you that there needs to be a smart way for your business to advertise on TikTok and use it successfully. And if you can do that effectively, then your chances of getting the eyeballs, getting the traffic are going to be quite good. And somebody who's been raving a lot about TikTok recently has been Ezra Firestone from Zipify Apps, and I think he's got a couple of other businesses as well. He was saying that it was, he's getting customers 4 times cheaper than he is on Facebook. So that tells you quite a lot because him and Molly Pittman and his media buyer Boris are people that are spending enormous amounts of money on all social and paid advertising platforms. So when they're saying something like that, it's definitely worth taking note. And then the final thing that has come up is a question about Quora ads. Someone was asking the other day, can you run a test on Quora ads at some point? And the answer to that is absolutely yes. I'm very interested in running some Quora ads. It's just been something which I'm doing more research into. Obviously, you would have seen um, on the channel, if you're a subscriber here, that we did a walkthrough on whether or not core ads are worth it, and we looked through all the different conversion settings and that sort of thing. But now we're coming more towards actually devising what type of test campaign we would run. So stay tuned for that one. I look forward to sharing it with you. And thank you so much for everybody once again for listening to this podcast. You are all fantastic and amazing, and have a wonderful day. And don't forget as well, if you are interested in getting up to date podcast releases here on Paid Advertising Help or my YouTube channel, Stuart McAdam, you can always hit that subscribe button and bell icon to receive the notifications. And if you do find this type of podcast discussion useful, you can always leave a like down below. And don't forget to leave a comment as well if you want to keep the conversation going, or you have any suggestions for this particular podcast and things that we could look at talking about. And one more thing on top of all of that, if you are looking for professional help with any type of paid advertising, you can always send me an email, get a quote from my website, or you can just give me a call. All of the contact information for that is available in the description box down below. And I will see you on the next podcast. Have a fantastic day, everybody. And don't forget to be awesome.